Oh shit, here we go again.
What's up, guys? This is Jason from the Jason&Jabari Gaming, and today we have War number 1 of Alliance War Season 31. It is the introduction of bands, and the band people that we received was Human Torch, Spider-Man 2099, and Ghost. So I was assigned Killmonger, Void, and Odin, and I really enjoy this team. Way back in the day when 5 stars were more prominent, I brought in Void and Killmonger, and they did and put in a lot of work for me back in the day. So nostalgia flooding back in. I'm very happy with this team. But before we get into this, guys, if you don't mind, consider leaving a like and a subscription. This greatly helps us out with the YouTube algorithm at getting more exposure and presenting to you guys good content that you guys enjoy watching. So we have 8 fights this war, so it's a big war for us. And our first fight is in Section 1 against Dormammu. You see me boosted up, and I'm going to elect to go for a combat regeneration boost, and that is to mitigate some of the degen damage in case I accidentally trigger dexterity, because I'm going to keep that on. So here we go with the first fight. He has Malkinism. Ugh, can't speak today. Yeah, so basically when he gets a debuff, it will automatically purify and regenerate some of his health, but then it'll go down on a cooldown phase. And basically we're going to keep on applying the debuffs on him, and hopefully they'll stick after we trigger one and then get them going during the cooldown phase. So far that's working out nicely. They're indomitable triggers, and basically what that means is we cannot reverse his healing that he would gain from gaining a debuff. It would just neutralize itself out, which is no big deal. He's still going down rather rapidly. This wasn't a very difficult fight. We did lose a little bit of health, but we're in really good shape. And with one more SP1, Dormammu goes down, so that was really good. Here is where the problems begin. Everybody was rusty this fight. This was a god-awful war on both ends, which was expected. We had about 2 months off of Alliance War, so a lot of people did not perform at peak performance, including myself. Hence the name of the thumbnail and the title of this video. But this was really good placement for several reasons. Number 1, Symbiote Supreme is a high ground defender. Number 2, he's a mystic, so there's mystic dispersion. I did not remove dexterity. Number 3, he gains power passively, so if you're not aggressive on him, he can build up to a special 3. Now the problem with that is I brought Odin, but I could not apply Odin's pre-fight to let me not gain shock debuffs, because Symbiote Supreme would just nullify it in the beginning of the fight, and I would lose health automatically. So I was told not to apply that. Now, also, we build up shock naturally, and that's going to be a problem. Also, there's masochism, so our debuffs won't be sticking like they should be sticking, which would it greatly would have helped us out. But so far we're actually winning this race, but you can see he's gaining power relatively quickly, and now with those high ground charges building up, that block damage it is not tickling anymore. It's starting to hurt pretty significantly, but we're still in it. We're definitely trying to do what we can, but now with this special 1, we acquired 3 shock charges, so now we're just ticking out, and we're like, oh crap. He has 3 high ground charges, about to be at 4, and we're at like 25% health, so it's not looking good. I was going to try and beat into his block and see if that would help at this point, but I accidentally intercept, so I back up because I didn't want to get any more shock on me, and then I get intercepted the second time we go in towards the wall, and that was it. So moving forward, we learned from that, and we're not going to use Void there. We're going to attempt to use maybe a Thing or a Doom or someone else, but nonetheless, their first war, first death. Feels bad, but here we go. We have to heal up, and I almost itemed out this war. I was down to 1 item at the end of it, and that's because Void has a ton of health, and I kind of mismanaged how I did my pots. If you notice, after the dorm fight, I used a 3k little baby boost. I should not have done that. I should have just went in the fight with maybe not 100% health, but close to it. So we live and we learn, but yeah. So we just go ahead and finish off the Sorcerer Supreme. We knew he wasn't going to kill us again, and as long as I stayed aggressive. So now we have a rank 4 Dr. Doom on Power Snack. One of the Alliance mates, Yeezy, shout out to Yeezy, dropped all Mr. Fantastic pre-fights on him, and we're going to go with the invulnerability boost on here. And the strategy for this fight is to keep up those unique debuffs. He will lose damage because of Void, and there again we have to use a few more health potions, but this time we're going to use Odin's pre-fight for shock damage. It was for the last fight, like I stated, but we couldn't use it. But we definitely can use it here. So we're getting ready to go in, just making sure we have everything the way we want it, and here we go. Initially I start off with parry heavies to get him on his side of the map, and I also wanted to try and throw my special one before he threw his. You can notice that he's still gaining a significant amount of power each heavy that I do, but I did find out that if you do your heavy, you back up, a lot of times he won't throw his special, which is what I was trying to prevent. So me, I'm just backing up because I have that shock on me, and I didn't want for him to heavy me. Although off on the parries, I'm getting shock damage placed on me. There, fortunately, he did not go unblockable due to our petrifies on him. We have 3, so that was really good. We're starting to regain control of this fight. This is a slow fight. We're just trying to keep applying all the debuffs that we can. Backup recovery now comes in, and he's losing health off of it, so this is really good. But he's still gaining quite a bit of power. I'm assuming this guy's Mystic Dispersion has to be very high, if not 5 out of 5. So yeah, we're winning this race. We're going to take all of this on the chin here. We're not going to risk getting hit at the end and losing this fight. We'll just heal up, and that was my mentality, because I had already died once and I wasn't going to allow that to happen again. So down he goes. That's our second mini. And we're moving on to our third mini, which is this Sasquatch. So we're going to heal up Void again. Common theme. And then we're going to place a great boost on, and it was an invul boost again. And that's just in case I get clipped. Now this fight, there's nothing hard about it other than you don't want to parry. There's a window of opportunity stun, I believe. So it's a stun immune fight essentially. And when you take any block damage, you get a disorient on you. That doesn't really come into play here. I can't heal off of it because there's a passive heal block. I'm pretty good at fighting Sasquatch. All of these fights so far I would have taken with Torch. I used to be the Torch guy, and these fights wouldn't have even been an issue, but now we have to get a little more creative, and that's fine. I do want this Sasquatch to go into his Wrath of Tanarak, so he'll be a little more aggressive, and I can do some backdraft intercepts on him. I'm pretty good at intercepting straight up, draft back intercepts, wake up intercepts, standing intercepts. I'm fairly well rounded when it comes to the intercept game. I've been doing it for quite some time, so I'm fairly comfortable, especially in high pressure wars, to intercept when need be. Yeah, so we are ticking him down so far. He's throwing his special ones. I'm not retaliating them. You actually can retaliate them, but I'm electing not to unless he's like in Wrath of Tanarak or I'm cornered. So here we are pushing him back to his side. I do not like to be on my side of the map. I like to be aggressing. I like to be the aggressor, I should say, and push them towards their side of the map. But so far so good. We did take a little small combo earlier, but we do have this fight under control. We're just allowing those debuffs to do their work, and we're slow playing it. We're just beating into his block, getting him back where he needs to be. He's going to throw a few more special ones. This was about a 2-minute fight, a little bit longer than that, I think. And yeah, we stayed in control of the fight. We stayed calm and we stayed focused on what we needed to do, because again, I have already died once and I definitely don't want that to happen again so far. Okay, down he goes. So that's half of our fights down, 3 being minis, and we'll have 2 more minis. So this is one of those instances where I took more minis than I did actually regular path fights. And that's completely fine. I just found that kind of interesting because that seldomly happens. But we do have 8 fights this war, so we are halfway there. Now we're going against a Mr. Negative. I was not concerned about this fight at all. You don't want to parry against Mr. Negative really, but the first thing we do is we parry. So now that that's out of the way, we have to change up our strategy, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to allow him to throw his special one and not move, because he does inverted controls on his specials, and whether I turn that, like right there, I'm inverted, so I just elect to stand still, and now that I have my counter punches up, boom, I can hit him, and now we get our true strike. So again, we had a strategy just in case we messed up, which we did, but it was fine. I tried to strike there, as you noticed, but he was out of range and I wasn't trying to move forward or back. Again, we're just playing patiently. He's almost done. So again, we're going to go into a 5-hit combo through our special one and allow him to throw his, not move. We have our counter punch. Boom, we hit, and down he goes. Very simple fight. He was never a threat, in my opinion, but we did have a slight hiccup there where we accidentally parried. Now we have Bishop, and we actually do have that buff from Odin. Odin definitely helps on path 8 with buff and balance. Even though we have just 1 buff, which is the shock, that still is enough to help us out and gain some power. We're going for an invulnerability boost just to play safe. Definitely trying to play safe this war. Yeah, Bishop can be a problematic defender. There I was contemplating if I was going to put on another buff, and then I elected to save them for the MODOK fight that I'm going to have with Killmonger later on. So we get ready, we go ahead and go into this fight, and basically we're just trying to continuously keep up our debuffs. We are Incinerate immune, so that does eliminate one of his biggest problems. But he can still be a tough fight regardless. We're trying to get Petrifies on him, so that way if he does go into healing while we're hitting onto his block or something, we'll reverse that healing. Here I made a mistake. I should have pushed him to 2 bars of power, but I was trying to bait out the special one, and then I saw it was unblockable, and I was like, oh crap. So that was my error. I should have pushed him to special 2 and it would have been fine, even had I got hit by it. I had the indestructible on me, but yeah, we take this on the block, this second special 2, and we're about to be at 3 bars of power, so we hurry up and throw our special 2, and we're very much in control of this fight. We intercept with a special 1, so far everything's going great. We're holding block to try and prevent him from throwing another special 1. We throw another special 2 to get him to 2 bars, and now we're just going to allow him to die. And yeah, man, pretty easy fight when you play it that way. We did have a little bit of a hiccup there, but but we got through it. So the next mini that we have is this Mojo. And again, guys, I did not remove dexterity. I never remove dexterity for Mojo. Maybe on Dormammu or Symbiote Supreme, I might consider it depending on the node combination and things like that. But yeah, so I don't know how high this guy's MD was. There is kinetic transference, and if I get to 2 bars of power, he'll go indestructible for a number of seconds. But we're never going to get to 2 bars. We're always going to try to throw our special 1, and we're going to try to again get those petrifies on him so we can start reversing his power gain. So that's the strategy there. We triggered dexterity when he threw his special 1. It was fine. As you can tell, we didn't get degen for that, but we are triggering dexterity, and it's okay as long as we don't get too many degens on us. We should be just fine. There we get in the corner, so we have to let him hit into us, except for the last hit there. We take his special 2 on the block, and we do have a petrify up, so we are stopping some of his power gain at this point. There we get our second petrify, so now you'll notice that he's not gaining power when he's hitting into me. We completely shut it down. The only way he's gaining power is when we're actually hitting him. Every time he's hitting us, he's not gaining power. So that's what we wanted. He's just about down. He's about to be at 3 bars of power there. We accidentally dexed the first beam of that, but either way it worked out. We have some degen on us, but down he goes. So there you go. All right, moving on to our last mini, which is the MODOK. We're going to place both of our pre-fights from Odin. This is polka dot power. So the only way we're going to gain power is if we make them bleed, and we can't stun them, otherwise we get stunned. And if you guys have noticed, I've been doing some accidental stuns, so that might come into play. So there we get a nice little intercept. The idea is to let him build up to 1 bar of power, let him throw his special 1, retaliate, and then we'll get our true strike up. There, I don't know what happened here. Coming up, I think I baited out. Yeah, there it was. He does a random heavy, and it kind of throws me off a little bit. The problem is we have not had him start to bleed yet, and then we accidentally parried, so we get stunned. Then we take a special 1 to the face. So yeah, not a good look, and we still have not caused him to bleed yet, so we're not really gaining power like that, unfortunately. So now we have to rebuild up him to another 1 bar, and then we're going to retaliate, get our true strike back up. And yeah, we're going to try and let him hit a little bit onto us, but he has 4 high ground charges already. So he is bleeding, so now we're going to gain power. So that's really good. We dex out of that, but obviously it was too late for us to get our true strike back. We have him in the corner. So yeah, things aren't going like they should. He's up to 6 high ground charges, so block damage is really going to hurt. I thought he was coming at us, so I threw my special 1. Fortunately, he didn't punish, and look at all that block damage. So that time I just got straight up hit. I dex that, we get our true strike up, and things aren't looking that great. He's at 7 high ground charges, and he's about at half health while I'm down to 28%. There we get a nice little intercept off. There I parry again on accident, and fortunately due to the synergy with Void, it was a non-damaging debuff, so we purified it and gained a little bit of health, but we were so lucky on that. We should have been dead. But yeah, we're at 6%, guys, and this dude has 8 high ground charges. So yep, we either got to turn up or get killed. So there we go for a special 1. We back up, we dex his special 1 pretty well. We back up, we dex his special 1 again. We do a draft back intercept into him, and then we back up, and this time we bait it out with a draft back into our special 1, and down he goes. So we clutched out that fight, thank God. We didn't want to die again, and we didn't. But we definitely lost this war. Everybody was rusty, like I said, on both ends. We died 18 times and they died 14. And yeah, we're just all still learning what's going on here. So it happens. We'll definitely bounce back in the war number 2. I got MVP number 1. Caesar and Nagato, congratulations, guys. You guys are beasts. TLM, Spaz, and I'm sorry I don't know your name, but congratulations to you guys. You guys are beasts as well. And yeah, guys, that is going to do it for this war. Thank you for stopping by and thank you for watching, and we will see you in war number 2. Take care, guys.